So lesson 5.2, the goal here is that you can simplify a radical with a coefficient other than 1, and this is the big change from yesterday. And then combine like radicals to simplify an expression. So it's going to be everything the same as yesterday, but there's one extra step. So if we review from yesterday, what we did yesterday was we listed the perfect squares. 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 5 times 5, 6 times 6, and so on. Okay. So on your paper, you should have those. If you don't, you should write them up top. You're going to use them a lot today, okay? So yesterday, the first step was to find the number in the list that was closest to the number, but not more than the number. So if we're looking at 75, what number is in the list closest to 75 without being over? Yep, 64. So 64 is closest to 75 without going over. And then what we would do is we would divide to see if it comes out nice. That's ugly. It's not an integer, so we need to test other numbers. Which number do we test next?
40.
Yep, 49. And that doesn't work. So then we just keep going down the list. 36. Nope. Oops. Missed like half my numbers there. All right, there we go. So this one works. So then the second step that we did yesterday is we rewrote this as the square root of 25, because that number is in this list, times 3. And then hopefully you guys remember we split it into two separate ones. So square root 25, square root 3. What is the square root of 25? It is 5. And remember, if you don't know it off the top of your head, you can count. This is the first number in the list, second, third, fourth, fifth. Since it's the fifth number, that means it is 5. So 5 square root 3, that's our answer. And again, that's just saying that the square root of 75 gives us this weird number, but so does 5 times the square root of 3. You get the same weird number, okay? So let's do 48, just one more warm up. 48, what number is close to 48 in the list, but is not more than 48?
36.
Good, so we'll start by dividing by 36. No good, okay. 48 divided by, the next one would be 25. Nope, comes out as a decimal. 48 divided by the next one is 16. All right, that one comes out nicely. So this is the same as 16 times 3. Because again, 16 is in the list. One of them has to be in the list. Then we split it up into two square roots. What is the square root of 16?
Four.
Good. So this is 4 times square root 3. The square root of 3 exists, but we don't ever mess with it because look at what it is. Girls, like, no. So the answer here would be 4, 4 square root 3, okay? And then the other thing we did yesterday is we combined like terms so that it would simplify. So here you see how we have a square root 5 on the end. There's another one right here. So we would do 36 minus 27. We just ignore the square root 5 for right now. So we get 9, and then we just copy that. And then this is by itself, so we just add it on the end. Okay? Over here, do the same thing. So we have a root 13 and another root 13. So I'm going to ignore the root, the radical part, and I'm just going to look at the coefficient. Coefficient means number in front. So 7 minus 13, we get negative 6. Root 13s. And then we just keep that 5 root 11. That's just kind of there. Okay? Does that look familiar to you guys? Kind of? Hope so. I hope so. Okay, so what is new? Well, sometimes there is a number in front, and this number is called a coefficient. Coefficient. When there is a coefficient, we have an additional step at the end. We will need to multiply once we have simplified the radical, okay? So let's do this one. And what I'm going to say is we're going to ignore this, and we're going to bring it down each step, but we're going to ignore that 5. I'm making it like a column because we're going to work down these 2 columns, okay? So we'll ignore that for now, but we'll keep a space for it. So let's do what we did yesterday. Square root of 8. I'm going to list these numbers. Okay, which number is close to 8, but not more than 8 in the list? 4. So we're going to switch this into 4 times 2. I'm just jumping straight to it because I know we are aware that 8's the same as 4 times 2. Then we're going to split it up. What is the square root of 4?
2.
2. So we're going to have 2 square root 2. This means times when they're touching. Now I'm going to go through and I'm just going to drop this 5 in front of each step that we write. When it touches, that means multiply. Just like here, this means multiply. We just don't usually write it. Okay. So the last step that we have to do, and this is the one new piece, is after we get this blue answer, we need to take 5 times 2. And the final answer is going to be 10 square root 2. Okay, so again, that last step is to multiply these 2 numbers. All right, can we practice a couple? Is that okay with you guys?
Sure.
Okay. So, again, I'm just going to create a column for this one, a column for this one, and a column for this one. I'll maybe make it wider. Okay. So we're going to ignore those until the very end. We don't need them until the very last step. So, let's go ahead and do this. So 162, give me a second. You guys have these on your paper. You should have them. You can see we need to use them all the time. So if you did not write them yesterday, you should write them down right now. Okay. So the first one is square root 162. So step number 1 yesterday. What number is really close to 162 but is not more than 162?
$121.
Got it. So if we divide by 120, whoa. This is going to make me crazy. This thing is not responsive. Okay, that's garbage. I'm just going to move down the list. 100, nope. Oh my gosh. So that one worked out. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this 162 as 81 times 2. And then we're going to split it up. What is the square root of 81?
Nine.
Yep. So we have 9 times square root 2. And then now we're just going to drop our 7 down. Okay. So the last step is to multiply 7 times 9, which is 63. So we get 63 times the square root of 2. So the point here is if we do 7 square root 162, what? And hit enter. And then if we do 63 square root 2, notice we get the same thing. So you can always check if you're right. Whatever you think your answer is, type in this first one and then type in your answer and you'll know if you're right or not. Okay. All right. Next one, square root of 200. Let's split this up. Which number is this one divisible by from the list?
100.
100. So sometimes you guys can just save yourself some time. 100 times 2. You could have gone through and done 200 divided by 196 and like tested all of them, but my calculator is driving me nuts. And we can mostly see 100 times 2 is 200. And 100's in the list. So then we split that up. What is the square root of 100? 10 times the square root of 2. And then we're just going to drop down this 13 times 10. 13. Oops. Is 130. Square root 2. Again, why is this not working? This calculator is going to make me go crazy. So we get that. And then if you put in the original one, 13 times the square root of 200, you should get the same thing. And we do, so we know we're right. Okay, so let's do this last one. So square root of 45. What number is close to 45 in the list, but is not bigger than 45?
36.
Yep. So let's start with 36. It's 1.25. Okay, so then what we would try next is 25. 25 is next in the list. It's right here. Nope. 45 divided by 16 is next. Nope. 9 is next. That one works. Okay, so we're going to switch this 45 into 9 times 5. Again, 9's in the list. That's why we do it. And then we split them. Okay, what is the square root of 9?
Three.
Got it. Times the square root of 5. And then I'm going to drop down this negative 7. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21 root 5. All right. Questions on those ones, you guys? Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do two things. First, we're going to simplify these radicals that have normal coefficients. And then we're going to do these crazy ones. Okay. So first thing we'll do is 72. So I'm going to zoom out. I hope you guys have those numbers written down because we need them all the time. What number is close to 72 but not over 72?
$64.
Okay. So 72 divided by 64, trash. 72 divided by 49, trash. 72 divided by 36, that one works. So instead of 72, I'm just going to split this into 36 times 2. Root 36, root 2. What is the square root of 36?
$6.
Yep. So we got 6 root 2. And I'm going to put this plus sign in red because of that right there. I'm going to do the next one in blue. Okay, 75. What's close to 75 but not over?
64.
64. Trash. Next one's 49. Trash. 36. Again, garbage. 75 divided by 25. You guys might catch some shortcuts, and that's totally fine if you do, but I'm just going through the whole process in case people don't catch those shortcuts. So I'm going to switch 75 into 25 times 3 and split them up. What is the square root of 25?
$5.
Thank you. 5 root 3. And then I'm going to put a minus sign here because this guy. And we'll do the last one in green. And notice I have 3 steps for each one. So it's very linear. You guys can see exactly what we're doing each time. All right, so 48, we're close to 36. Nope. 48 divided by 25. Nope. All right, that one works. So we're going to split this into 16 times 3. So we got root 16 times root 3. What's the square root of 16, folks?
4.
Yep, so we got 4 root 3. So we have one extra step here. We got to combine stuff that has the same root on it. So you see how this is a root 3 and then this is also a root 3? We're going to do 5 minus 4. Well, what's 5 minus 4? Positive 5 minus 4.
1.
Yes. So this, what we did was 5 minus 4 equals 1. So we're going to keep the 6 root 2, and then we're going to do plus. If you guys want to put a 1 there, you can. Root 3. If you want to put a 1, you can. You don't have to. That's why it's dotted. It's optional. All right, you guys ready for the worst of it? It's happening. Okay. In school, normally I would have you guys like split, like divide and conquer, but I just want to make sure we're all good to go here so we can do this together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by, I'm going to highlight a track here for the 6 and the plus 2 and the minus 9. Whoops, that got a little weird. And then for the plus 4. So we're going to be kind of scrunched here for work. You guys have paper, so you can write this on paper and it's going to be fine. I'm going to be kind of squishing a little bit. So looking at your list of numbers, what is close to 180 but is not more than 180?
$169.
Okay, thank you. So 169 No. 180 divided by, I think I forgot one up top. I meant to put 144. I don't think I put that in there. Yeah, I missed that one. There should be 144 in there. I'm sorry. If you copied that list down. So divided by, no, 180. Some of these are going to take a little bit. There's a shortcut. If anyone's feeling spicy and wants to know it, stay after and I'll show you, or I'll explain it, okay? Before 81 is 64, right? Oh, crap. Lord Rikus. Okay. 36, is that? Okay, there we go. All right. So instead of 180, I'm going to do the square root of 36 times 5. And then I'm going to split that into 36 and root 5. What is the square root of 36?
Six.
Got it? And that's times root 5. Okay. And then if we bring this down, we're going to do 6 times 6 root 5, which makes this into 36 root 5. Okay. So then for the next one, we're going to do the same thing. So 250, I'm just going to start lower because nothing lower than 125 is going to work because it's double. That's the shortcut that I'm talking about. Like we have to do 2 times something to get to 250 in order for it to make any difference. So 121 does not work. So I'll just keep going lower than that. Again, that's part of the shortcut. I can explain if you guys want. 121. So much faster to type on a real calculator. Okay, 250 divided by 64. 250 divided by 36 is next. $25. Okay, finally, that one works. Okay, so we're going to switch 250 into 25 times 10. And then we'll split that up. What does that simplify to? What is my next step going to look like?
Bring that 2 down.
Okay. Oh, one thing before that. Right here, what am I going to do first? Then I'll do that.
I have a question.
Yep.
Where's that 10 from?
So you see how when I did 250 divided by 25, it came out as 10?
Oh.
So you take this number that we divided by and then the result, and those are the 2 that go inside. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. Thank you for asking. So the square root of 25 is 5. So this is going to simplify to 5 root 10. That's the first thing to do. And then, like Javaris was saying, we'll bring down our 2. And it's a positive 2. So 2 times 5 is 10. So this is going to become plus 10 root 10. And then let's do the next one is 45. So in the list, what's close to 45 but not over?
36.
Thank you. Okay, no. And then next would be 25. And next is 16. And then is 9. Okay, so 9 and 5 comes out. So what we're going to do is rewrite this as 9 times 5 and then split it up. So what's that going to simplify to? What's the next line in green going to be? Why don't you guys write it on your paper? You might not know how to say it, but can you write it on your paper and see if you come up with the same thing as me?
Oh, okay.
Did you come up with this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So the way you say that, just so you know, is 3. There's 2 ways to say it: 3 root 5 or 3 square root or root 5. I guess you could also say 3 times square root 5, whatever. But that's how you would say that. And then we have to bring down this negative 9. So negative 9 times 3 is negative 27. So it's going to be minus 27 root 5. And then we have to do one more. And this really is the hardest part. I think I put like 1, maybe 2 on there, but they're not even this like intense. I don't think. So for the last one, we'll do the same thing. So 90 is close to 81. So we'll do 90 divided by 81. That's a no. 90 divided by 64. 90 divided by 49. Just keep on keeping on. They all are coming out as decimals. Oops. Okay, so that one finally worked. So we'll turn 90 into 9 times 10 and then split that. Okay. What is the next line going to be?
Three square root 10 square root.
3 square root 10. Perfect. You got it. So 3 square root 10, and then we're going to bring this down. So we have a positive 4 times 3 root 10. What's 4 times 3, you guys?
12.
Good. So then the last step, and to me this is kind of the easier part. You see how we have this is a positive 10 root 10 and this is a positive 12 root 10? What we can do is we can go 10 plus 12. They're both positive. And we get 22. So that means we have 22 root 10s. You just put those together. And then what you'll see, hopefully, is that we have this 36, which is also positive because there's nothing in front. So we have to assume it's positive. And then we have a minus 27. So we can do 36 minus 27. Ignore the root. And that's 9. So we have plus 9. And now just put that square root 5 on the end. And that would be your final answer. So I understand that's like a lot of work. If you guys didn't write it down, obviously there's the video that's a recording. But if you want to take a picture, you can do that. But this is essentially what your quiz will be like tonight. I'm going to stop recording really quick.